y'all, it's your girl Kimra. You're watching Kimra Music TV, and I'm here to do an Insecure review this Monday morning as I am on my way to work. I don't know what daylight savings time. Just because it's light outside, people I guess are on time or thinking that they late. I don't know, but it's way more traffic than it normally would be at this time. But I did not want to wait to come onto this camera to talk about last night's episode. So if you're new here, please make sure you subscribe to my channel so that where's the camera? Over there. So that you can get all of the notifications when I go live. Subscribing is free. I know a lot of y'all think that subscribing costs money. It does not. It is free. Where is what I'm looking for? Subscribing is free. Make sure you like the video to let me know that you like this content. And I'm really just looking for my people, trying to build up my audience a bit more. So yeah, if you're into Insecure, if you're into Queen Sugar, Love and Hip Hop was a show that we reviewed, Real Housewives of Atlanta. If you're into all of that, please subscribe to the channel because we like to discuss. But as you all know, I'm a teacher, so a lot of times I can't hop on here and discuss. I can just discuss on Twitter. Okay, so all that's out the way. Let's go ahead and talk about Lawrence and contraception, or the lack thereof. Okay. So, let's see. This episode is called Pressure, okay? And at first, I found myself on Lauren's side. Then I found myself on Condola's side. And then I was like, ain't no sides. Ain't no sides. Because it just sounds like, and it seems like they got some stuff to figure out, okay? So, Lawrence this episode, we go back to when we last saw Lawrence when he dropped Issa off from the airport, and they had broken up. And he's kind of looking lost, like he don't know what to do. He's looking heartbroken, but he's went ahead and made this move to San Francisco. He started his life. He's fully thriving at his job. But we ain't seen no baby yet. We don't know. We don't really know what's going on there. We don't really know, what that's going to be like. But we're, waiting to find out because you done broke up with Issa D, honey. Okay? So, he goes on this date, and the girl is kind of, you can tell she's not really into him. She's calling him dumb. It's a whole thing. She's not into him at all. And, they're kind of cracking jokes, and then he gets this text message that his baby done been born. Now, I thought Condola lived in San Francisco. I did not know, I didn't realize that Lawrence was flying all the way back to LA. And it's not all the way, it is maybe an hour plane ride, but still, he flying back and forth. Didn't realize that. I don't think I fully caught that he knew he was about to have a baby. He was coming to terms with being in this baby's life, and fully still moved to the whole northern part of the state when your child ain't even been born. Okay, so that kind of changed my outlook because I had to remember, because I'm throughout the episode, I'm why Condola coming at him so crazy? Girl, he trying to be there for his child, but he wasn't there throughout the pregnancy. He was living his life, trying to repair his relationship with Issa. Apparently wasn't nowhere to be found. Wasn't at no appointments. Hadn't even checked in with her to see, how's the pregnancy going? She's potentially high risk because she's a little older. Nothing. So from that aspect, I'm okay, I feel contraception fans. When y'all are fully riding for her, because how else would you know how to be when you're going through the pregnancy and you ain't heard from the deity? you're gonna fully shut down and realize, like, okay, this is what I need to do for my child. And then remember what he said when they parted ways, when he was like, oh, what did he say? It wasn't just let me know, but it was like, keep me posted about a whole child coming. Okay, so on one hand, I'm gonna back up a little bit. On one hand, I didn't agree with Condola having this baby, and her being like, well, you can be in his life or you cannot be in his life, because it just don't work like that. Like, this is a whole person, a whole human, who at some point is going to wonder about their dad, and you're already putting him in a weird position because you didn't even consider how he might feel about it. Like, y'all didn't make the choice together to be like, okay, we're not having this baby, or okay, yes, we're having this baby. She was just like, I'm having this baby, this is what's going on, just want to let you know. Okay, so because of that, it's like, okay, you gave him no choice but to have to hurry up and prepare himself for what was about to come. That doesn't mean that it's gonna be absolutely perfect. That doesn't mean like that he's gonna, you know, be fully in. Like, I don't know what she expected, especially when she rolled it out to him like, well, this baby, I'm having this baby, no matter what you think. Okay, so there's that part of it. But then there's the other part where when you have a kid, all of that, like, oh, my dreams, my job, all that has to subside for the moment, because you have a being who is depending on you for everything. And Lawrence has not been inconvenienced in that way. Yes, he's flying back and forth, but he's still fully thriving at his job. He's still messing around with females. And even with the perspective of the half and half of where you see, like, how Lawrence looks when he comes home after a long day, and how Condola looks when she lays down. Like, Condola is the one in the slums. She is in the slums with this baby, like, fully. And he don't have to deal with none of that. He don't have to deal with none of that. So, you know, I can understand her anguish. So anyway, he pulls up at the hospital, and Keke Palmer, honey, is her sister, and she is not feeling him. She's like, that's why that baby look like that. Now listen, she didn't already name the baby Elijah Mustafa and gave him Lawrence's last name of Walker. How do y'all feel about that? How do y'all feel about that? I feel like she should have at least asked him. I don't know. It's a lot of pettiness, and I understand why, but I'm also like, something like his name, something that's gonna be there forever. Like, I don't know. I'm starting to see, like, how, you know, mothers and fathers, before you're around, how all that pettiness affects so many different things. But what parents need to realize, and what people need to realize before they decide to have a child, is that is monumental. It's going to affect your child, like, immensely. So when he pulls up and she says, like, yeah, this is the name, and Keke Palmer looked at him crazy, and the mom is literally the only one that's, like, nice to him and shows him, like, warm, like, oh, hello, and this is the first time he meeting them. I'm just like, Lawrence, where you been through this whole pregnancy, though? Where you been? Okay, so he holds the baby. He looks super excited, and y'all know he done flew into LA, so he's staying over at Chad's house. Chad looked like he been bench pressing buildings, arms big, chest big, shirt tight, and he's giving Lawrence some clothes, and you know, they kind of blowing off some steam, because Lawrence feels like it was wrong of her to just text him like, hey, baby's being born, or baby was born. And Condola probably felt like, at least I did that. At least I gave you the courtesy of just texting you to let you know, because I could have totally excluded you, especially with that keep me posted comment. But like I said, I'm on the fence, and I'm indifferent in different parts of this. Like, I don't know, because I don't have a child, and I feel like I would be super guarded as well, because you done already made your choice, but you already made the choice for me, so of course it put a sour taste in my mouth. You know what I'm saying? So, oh, my car clock is wrong. I was about to say, we are really late. Yeah, so he stays over there, and then you start to see this little back and forth of like him flying in to be there, him asking like, oh, can I get him, you know, for a week or whatever. And he says to Chad, like, she not keeping me from this baby. I'm gonna be at that first appointment. I'm like, okay, but it's a lot of stuff that happens between that and the first appointment. Like, if you was really down trying to be a real dad, whatever that means, right? You'd have been like, okay, for the first 6 months of his life, like, I'm gonna see if I can work virtual, or work virtual throughout the week, or work virtual half the week, or something, because I need to be here for all of the diaper changing and the bottle making and all the things. And he's not like fully, I don't know why he don't understand that. Like, I see that he's like, you know, Lawrence is kind of slow. Like, he has to see it to understand, like, oh, okay, this is really happening. Because y'all know what happened with him and Issa. It was like, Issa kept telling him, get off your butt, get off your butt, get off your butt. Like, we got things to do. And we're in this rut, and you won't get out of it. And he didn't fully see it, so she went and cheated. It was just like, you know, he was just stuck in this rut and couldn't get out of his own mind. And so, with the baby, it's like taking him so long to fully grasp the fact that he has a child. And he didn't offer to hire no nanny. He didn't offer nothing. But also, that doesn't make Kendola's little attitude okay either. Okay. So, yeah. So, they're going back and forth, like I said. And one of the first things she texts him where they have to show up as a unit is, I'm sorry, they're outside of the doctor. The doctor's kind of weird. Like, yeah, it's real ugly babies out there. And they're both freaking out because the baby done lost weight and, like, you know, just like new parent stuff. And, you know, this one, Lawrence is kind of realizing, like, I want to be around. I want to be there. Like, can I be at the next appointment? But I'm like, dude, you're not realizing, like, there's more stuff between the appointments. Why are you not trying to be there at the house? Or at least have your mama go over there. Something. Okay? So he brings up something about his mom saying, like, you know, she want to know when the baby's baptism gonna be. And Kendola done already set it up. So, you know, Lawrence is annoyed. This is kind of a trigger for him because he hasn't been saying things like, she's given the name already. She just texted him when the baby was born. Like, she's been keeping him out the loop. So that's probably a little of both of them, you know, just her keeping him out the loop, and then him like not really asking because she seems like she seems distant, or she seems like she don't really want to tell him nothing. So it's like that weird funky space where things are getting lost in translation because you don't know, so you assume. And yeah, so she done already planned it. She talking about Kiki will send you the information. And you know, he has his family there, and the mom's hair is full, beautiful. I don't think I ever seen his parents, but yeah, they're all there. Uncle didn't hand Lawrence $5, like that's gonna do something. Girl, it'd be so funny, like, as you get older, the money people give you, it don't get higher. You still be grateful, but the money don't be higher amounts. Lord, I hope y'all can hear me, because I turned off my Bluetooth, because the last time when I did my Queen Sugar review that I had to take down, y'all couldn't hear me. So let me think. So yeah, they're at that, and they're like standing there as a unit, like taking pictures as a unit, and it just makes things like super complicated because I just don't know what she was thinking. Like, she had made it very clear that she got with Lawrence as like just something to do. Like, remember, she had just went through this divorce, and she wasn't looking for nothing serious, but Lawrence was like falling for her, and you know, she invited him over for a Friendsgiving, and he was just like fully like enjoying her friends and like hanging out, and she was like trying to reassure him, like, yeah, this is not that, like, let's chill. But when she got pregnant, think a lot of us are more old-fashioned than we would like to admit, because there were options that she could have taken, right? But also I think she just accepted the responsibility of understanding that she was active, so she was gonna go ahead and birth this child. But also it's like, birth the child into what though? Y'all be real selfish. Y'all be real I'm not gonna lie, like y'all be like, ooh, you know, I'm getting down with this dude. I'm trying to be as PG as I can. I'm getting down with this dude, and you know, things then gone left, and now I'm pregnant, but I really want a baby. Like, I'm really ready for a baby. Not understanding though, like, as you bring a child into the world, like, the child is gonna wonder, like, where's my dad? What, like, wants to know things about their lineage and needs both parents there and skin to skin. Like, she skipped all that. She skipped all that. She skipped all that because she was fully like, yeah, no, like, you showed me a little doubt and that's all I needed. But I feel her. Like, that's why I'm just like going back and forth, because I feel her, but then I'm also like, give that man a chance. Like, you just shocked him. You just called him over one night after y'all was done with each other. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So soon after that, you know, he's gone back and they're still like in this rigmarole. He's winning at work and doing all these things, but she's like fully in the slums, like I said. And so she texts him like, hey, are we gonna go to Tiffany and Derek's party for their daughter, the first birthday party, together? Like, do you want to go together? And I guess he decides, like, I guess, yeah, like, I mean, if this is what it's gonna be, we're gonna have to be together. I was listening to Insecurity this morning at the gym, and they were saying that Crystal and a friend were saying, what if he just went, like, he could have just used that weekend as a, like, daddy and baby, and then he just took them, because that is his friend group. And I fully agree. She did not have to go. But when they're arguing, you know, and she says, like, I had to call Tiffany to take us to urgent care, I'm like, okay, so maybe she's getting closer to Tiffany because Tiffany has a baby, and you know, that's a couple that's close to them. But also, like, that's not your friend. But how do we meet Condola though? How do we meet Condola? Is she a friend of somebody? I think Condola is Tiffany's friend, now that I'm remembering. Because remember at the baby shower, is that where Condola and Lawrence met? Y'all know what I'm saying? I think that the whole reason we know, or the whole reason they got together, is because at the baby shower, because I can slightly remember that. So that would be why she called Tiffany. That was a question that I had while listening to Insecurity, but I think that's why, if I remember correctly. So anyway, yeah. So she says that they're at the party, and the party is real cute. Kelly's in her tuxedo looking thing. She's matching Simone. Simone got her tuxedo, and I just really love how we just defy all gender roles. Like, we don't even subscribe to gender roles, and I love that. But we hear that Kelly ain't drinking no more, and so I'm like, oh, like, Kelly is really making some strides towards, you know, just getting herself better. And I think that whole death thing was just like an awakening. Like, y'all really just killed me off like that, and everybody thought it was funny. Like, nobody considered my feelings or nothing. And so I think she's just living more purposeful and intentional. So yeah. But they're at the party, and Lawrence and Condola are looking like a family unit. And Kelly, she fully lets him know, like, yeah, my friend is great. All my friends are doing great in full abundance. Like, don't ask, don't tell, don't ask nothing about my people. We're good over here. And so I'm like, that's right, Kelly, defend your friend, because, you know, she know Issa's probably hurt, curled up in a corner somewhere, because her man that finally came back and got it together, they finally had their full circle moment, his behind and got somebody pregnant, and the girl is actually cool. So that probably, like, makes her even more mad, because she had planned her whole life out with this man, and he done got somebody else pregnant that he's not even serious about. And the worst part is he loves her back, honey. Woo! That's cold right there. That's cold. Okay, so yeah, they're at the party, and something happens to where, you know, Lawrence just gives the baby something off of the kids' table, you know, just because, you know, he's the dad, and that's what he chose to do. But Condola is freaking out. She's over it. She's not trying to do it. Heck no. Oh, I forgot to tell y'all, there was a weekend that he was supposed to come and get the baby. They had massages planned, her and Keke Palmer, and then he flaked because his job took precedence. And for me, it's like, you have a whole child, you need to prioritize. Just like I said, you need to be virtual certain days. Like, if you're going to be in this baby's life, let's do that. Let's not halfway do it. And that's the problem that we got with Lawrence. That's the problem that we got. You halfway doing. Halfway doing. And clearly, like, you're just a child. I mean, that's why I'm always reminded of his immaturity. Because he just halfway do stuff. You don't have no intention on doing it the right way either. So yeah, so they're arguing and they making a whole scene. Derek like, hey man, come help me with these boxes right quick. Of course it ain't no boxes, but Derek is like, hey, you know, Derek, the perfect husband and father, but he like, listen, I understand you frustrated, but it's gonna be petty, and she gonna be like that. She's earned the right to be like that because she done birthed your child. And to me, like, I'm all about being fair. And I also understand Lawrence ain't been there for nothing. He wasn't there for the birth. He ain't been in the slums with her. He has not been there. He hasn't been there. So how you gonna sit here and say, you know, just hand the baby some food? You ain't been there for the swim lessons. That's what Condola said. You ain't been there for the swim lessons. You ain't been there to hear him cry. You don't even know if he's allergic. You don't know nothing. You just handed him something off the kids' table because you think fatherhood is just, oh, you know, we just playing game. We just playing house. So I fully get Condola. And what I don't fully get is her, you know, them two having causing a whole scene in the party. But also it's like, no, sir, that's not cool. And I don't want those things for my child. But she's very like my child. She's not really on this whole like our child. You're the dad. Like, and I feel like that would be hard. Like understanding that this is my son's father. So he fully has a say as much as I have a say. But it's like she ends up saying later on in the episode, she don't trust him. She don't trust him. And I mean, would you? Would y'all trust him? Girl, can't nobody tell what you're doing. Let's calm down. You trying to get over and you're late. You're late. Sorry y'all. It's somebody driving crazy. Let me stay a whole car's back from you. So yeah. So after that party, I think Lawrence is still having these realizations. He's still reeling. And so he just ends up blowing up because I'm like, they should have been had a conversation and they ain't had one. They should have been had okay, so, you know, on these days, this, and on that day, this, and if this, then that, and can you come stay here? If you're going to fully buy into, and that's what I feel like, just like Condola arranged this whole talk when she found out she was pregnant. She should have arranged the whole talk when she was having all these feelings. It's like she was just saying one thing, you know, just to give him hope. But it's like, no, girl, make it plain. Okay, let's sit down and have this conversation. Okay, it seems like you are fully here and fully present for my child now, and that's confusing to me because throughout my pregnancy you were not there. Now maybe you were getting yourself together, but I did not have that choice. So yeah, I'm a little angry, bitter towards you, and yeah, I'm gonna be petty at some point. But if this is what you were trying to do, we need to create a realistic schedule. I know y'all, this is very mature conversation of me for somebody who don't have no kids. I'm just saying, Condola's a very smart person. Very smart person. And I think they realize, that this conversation needs to be had. Now, what I couldn't get over is Lawrence buying this crib and like fully exciting himself. I'm like, bruh, you are fully pumping yourself up for something that's not going to happen. You think you're going to take a whole baby that you are barely around on a plane to San Francisco? Unless you was going to let her stay the night. I just was very confused about that. Now, if he bought it and put it at his mama's house, that's one thing. I'm like, the parents ain't involved. I'm just like, what is Lawrence doing? What are you thinking? What's going on? What's going on? I just don't understand. I don't understand. So, yeah, this whole blow up happens in the end because it was a plan for him to take the baby for the weekend, but I think like over to his mama's house, or he wasn't leaving on the plane. And when he get there, the baby's kind of fussy, and Kendola's like trying to calm him down, and then Lawrence just tries to come in like superhero, like, oh, let me take him, and Kendola's like, I got him, I can do it better, I can calm him down better. And I was just like, Lord Jesus, like, it can't be that. So she's doing that, or he's trying to do that, and they're kind of fighting over the baby again. And remember, Derek told him like the baby can feel that energy. So y'all got to figure out a different way. And, you can see that Lawrence is trying. He really wants it, but he just has no guidance. And where did this temper come from? I don't remember him being this temperamental, but, a lot of people who have a temper, they don't vocalize their feelings. So it'd be pent up, and then they just want to be heard. So it just be a whole lot of. Okay, so yeah, they fully fighting, and then Kendola's like, yeah, I don't trust you, you're not taking my baby nowhere. And it goes down into this whole custody thing. Like, Lawrence is like, I'ma see my baby whether you in it or not, without you or with you, like, it's whatever. And she was like, get the F out my house. And I'm like, y'all just making it worse. It's just like the girl at Lush told me the other day. Yeah, with the facial stuff, like it gets worse before it gets better. So just try this stuff out, and you might really like it. Just give it some time. So with them, like, it's definitely getting worse before it gets better. Because you got to figure it out. It's very uncomfortable. Like, they're trying to figure it out. Okay, so yeah. I think the realization was when Lawrence was on that plane and he had all that turbulence, and he realized, like, I could be dead and gone. I need to be here for my child, and I can't even get along with his mother about things regarding him, and I'm not even there to have a say. You don't have no say when you in and out. So predictions, I think he's moving back, and just like in the preview when Issa said he moved back, like, we know he's gonna move back. He needed to move back. He shouldn't have left in the first place. I don't think that fully registered with me. Like, oh, you want to have this child and be in this child's life and tell people about the child, but you're moving to San Francisco in the first year of its life? Like, no. This episode gave me a headache, but it was so real, so raw, so needed, all of the things. Y'all let me know what you thought about this week's episode. Hopefully this review fully recorded. I'll go back and look at it. If not, I will have to do it again on live from home. My route to work, the service gets a little sketchy as you get deeper into Houston. But I'm Camera, this is Camera Music TV, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. I could not do it.